A lot of Korean food is meant to be eaten together with 2 or more people. In fact, some places won't even let you in unless you have at least 2 people, or you can convince them that you'll eat at least 2 servings. Because of this, there's a meme that circled the Korean web called the eating alone level test. It ranges from the easiest at level 1, which is eating triangle kimbap or instant ramen at a convenience store alone, and then goes all the way up to the final 2 levels of either eating barbecue, sashimi, or drinking by yourself at a Sul-jib or Korean pub. We'll be going up to the max level in this video, showing you a personal barbecue restaurant, how to experience Korean nightlife alone, and then share some really helpful tips to find you places to eat alone just like a Korean would. With Koreans becoming more independently focused every year, a trend called Hon-bap, which literally means eating alone, has started popping up these past few years. There are even Hon-bap places that specialize specifically in serving food that's normally meant for 2 or more people, such as barbecue or hot pot. If you want to find one of these restaurants, download the app Naver Maps on your phone. This is Korea's version of Google Maps. Once it's installed, go to the description of this video and open up the Google Docs link at the top. You have to go here because you can't copy text from the YouTube app on smartphones. Inside the document, copy Hon-bap, the first word that means eating alone. Now paste this into Naver Maps, and a bunch of places should pop up nearby. One thing to note is that not every Hon-bap place has seating inside, and some of them only do delivery, so you have to open up the pictures just to make sure that it's an actual restaurant. In this case, there are no pictures of the interior, and all of the food is packaged like takeaway or delivery food, so I'm gonna assume that this isn't a restaurant. And then here's another place that's pretty obviously a restaurant. So you just have to look around a little bit and eventually you'll find something. Now let's open up the menu. It looks like a meat restaurant, which is one of the hardest foods to eat alone in Korea. Also, this place is in one of Seoul's most popular neighborhoods, Hongdae. Hongdae has been the epicenter of Korea's independent art scene since the 90s. It's where Seoul's young and hip hang out, the true pinnacle of the MZ generation, where it barely fit in. But that's besides the point. It also has a lot of guest houses nearby, so there's a good chance that this is where you'll stay if you come to Seoul. Okay, we made it to Hongdae. It's right behind us, right over there. And this is a place that specializes in serving Korean barbecue for people that are by themselves. Technically, we're cheating today by going together, but it's not easy to film and grill meat at the same time. Excuses aside, even if you aren't alone, you can still go as a small group just for the cool experience. Each spot has its own grill and tablet to order from, which can be used in multiple languages including English. And if you're one of the first 10 customers at either time, you can get a special deal. They have a massive menu of sukiyaki or Japanese style hot pot, beef, pork, chicken, side dishes, and drinks including alcohol. Luckily we were one of the first customers, so we chose the 1 pound mega set with pork and beef for about $12 USD, and 3 different types of beef separately for just under $4 each. You can even choose if you want your meat marinated or not, and it comes with soup and small side dishes, and the set menu also comes with rice. A 500 milliliter pint of beer was also less than $3.
소금에 찍어가지고 맛있지 뭐.
Alright, we got about 600 grams of meat, like 300 each. We're absolutely stuffed, so this is the final piece right here to the end of the Hongdae. The meat was pretty thin, it's kind of like frozen meat, but it was really solid and tender. Most of the meat we ordered was non-marinated, but the final one was the marinated sirloin, the tungshim, and I think that was actually the best one, so probably recommend doing some of the marinated meat as well.
종류별로 생이랑 양념 중에 둘 중에 고를 수 있기 때문에 좋아하는 부위가 있으면 그걸 선택해서 옵션을 조정해가지고 시키면 되는 거예요.
If you think about someone that's going to go there by themselves and just kind of enjoy the time, I think I'd give it a 4.5 out of 5. It's a pretty good experience. Like, it's not easy to do that by yourself in Korea, but it's very low level. You can do it all in English on the iPads there. You don't have to speak any Korean. Yeah, it was a pretty good experience for sure.
막 퀄리티 엄청 높고 막 이런 거라기보다 퀄리티도 괜찮고 그냥 경험으로 자기가 구워보고 천천히 이렇게 먹고 마시고 하기에는 되게 좋은 장소인 것 같았어.
So what'd you give it out of 5?
4.5점 나도. 근데 이거는 약간 경험치가 더 높이 들어가.
For sure.
맛으로는 더 맛있는 곳도 많지. 그런데 여기는 그냥 혼자 오기에 정말 좋은 거지. 혼자 오는 곳 중에서는 맛있는 것 같아.
Now it might seem like it's really complicated to eat alone in Korea. But honestly, as long as it's not a barbecue place or a place with a big bowl in the middle of the table, you won't have a problem. You can always look out for things like a personal bowl or dukbaegi, which is used to keep things hot if you didn't know. And if you want a safe option, suitable for any time of the day, then kimbap places are literally everywhere in Korea, and they sell a huge variety of food too. Kimbap is kind of like a sushi roll, but it's filled with vegetables and proteins such as tuna, beef, or pork cutlet. Also, kimbap places usually sell stews such as kimchi jjigae or kimchi stew, fried rice, pork cutlet, dumplings, and a lot more. These days, a lot of them have a kiosk just like this to order from, and if they don't have an English menu, just download the app PapaGo and translate in real time with the camera. They usually also have self-serve banchan or side dishes, guk or soup, and are absolutely perfect for those who want to eat alone. Now let's talk about the max level, drinking alone at a Sul-jib. Sul-jib means place with alcohol, or simply put, a pub. The nightlife in Korea is one of the biggest aspects of the culture. At a Sul-jib, there's a special type of food called anju, which literally means food to eat with alcohol. It's a requirement to order anju when you drink at a Sul-jib that's not westernized, which do exist in Korea by the way, and just like barbecue, anju is commonly served for 2 or more people. Also, Sul-jibs typically have table seating just like a restaurant, so if you're going alone, you'll most likely be by yourself for the night. But just like the word Hon-bap for eating alone, Korea has a word for drinking alone too, Hon-sul. Hon-sul places typically combine a Western-style bar with a Korean pub, where you can sit at the counter, and you can usually order anju for 1 person instead of 2 or more. You can simply copy and paste to find Hon-sul or drinking alone places right from the description of this video, and paste it into Naver maps like I showed you how to do earlier. Let's go to Hongdae, or in English Konkuk University, a university area on the east side of Seoul, known for its nightlife amongst college students. I found a chain of Korean pubs or Sul-jibs called Osul-cha, and you can find them all over Seoul, so you might find one closer to you if you don't want to travel all the way to Hongdae. But I recommend going here to get a really authentic Korean nightlife atmosphere. This neighborhood's pretty cool. It's a lot more hectic than I was expecting. Lots of young people around here. Yeah, I've never done this before, so let's see. When I got inside Osul-cha, they asked me for my ID, so bring it just in case. There is a mix of bar seating for people who come alone and tables for those who come in groups. The menu is incredibly cheap, at just over $4 for the original anju and about $6.50 for the premium anju. And to be honest, I was a little nervous here. Vlogging gives me a lot of anxiety in its own, and vlogging at a bar right in front of the owner is absolutely next level for me.
저 그냥 인터넷으로 찾아봤어요. 네네, 혼술 처음 해봐요.
Soju and beer are both about $3.75, and you get it yourself from the fridge, and then the glasses are near the bar area. I picked Sero, which is a new soju that has no sugar in it, and the bottle looks pretty cool too. For anju, I picked kimchi udon, which was a bit over $4, and has a nice spicy broth with kimchi and thick udon noodles. It also came with omukgochi, which is a fish cake skewer, and it goes really well with soju.
혼술로 오시는 분들 많아요? 네.
싸잖아요. 지금 다 내분 다 혼수하고.
아, 맞네요. 좋아요.
밥 먹으러 오시는 분들 있어요. 싸다 보니까 술 안 먹고 밥 드시러 오시는 분들 있어요.
그렇겠네요.
If you don't speak Korean, don't worry too much about it. It might seem kind of daunting, but Korea is a really friendly country, and people are generally super accommodating, even if they don't speak English. There's a good chance you'll regret it if you don't get the chance to interact with the locals while you make the journey all the way to Korea, so give it a shot.
Alrighty, that was a really solid experience for sure. It's really cheap, so there's so many locations in Seoul that if you are nearby one, it's definitely worth going to. I don't know if the people in there spoke English. That was my first experience too that I did just for this video, and I was a little nervous to start out, but ended up being really comfortable and easy, so something that I'll do in the future for sure. So I'd give this place a 4 out of 5. It's really cheap, the food was pretty good too. Definitely recommend it.
If you just want to relax at the end of the day without socializing, there's a special tip I have that's one of my favorite things to do here: the convenience store. They have a great selection of snacks and drinks that are very affordable, and you can get pretty creative here too.
안녕하세요. Got the soju section right here. I go for the chilo today. So soju is dirt cheap in Korea. You'd spend 5,000 at a restaurant. I think it's like 1,800 here, so it's nothing. You can drink this straight, no problem, but we're gonna get fancy today. Usually it's easy to just check kind of the fruit beverages. If there's like a 1+1 or something, it's usually a good option because it's a lot cheaper and it's kind of like a dice roll, you know? So, got some grapefruit, peach too. They're both the same company, so we can get one of each. So every convenience store has a big thing of ice, and you can just buy 1 cup if you want. So just gonna get a large cup here. I think they're like 800 won, so like 50 cents. In Korea, it is very common to eat as your drink. So I'm looking for kind of one that jumps out a little bit, one that goes well with a soju cocktail.
이건 진짜 오래된 과자인데 맛있어. 이것도 맛있고 스윗칩도 나름 괜찮아. 근데 이게 진짜 한국적인 거기 때문에 약간 달달한 감자칩, 한국의 약간 표준 맛을 먹고 싶으면 이런 것도 나쁘지 않고, 치토스도 이런 거 있잖아요. 치토스, 뭐 도리토스 이런 것도 한국 거 먹어보면 맛이 다르잖아. 이런 것도 괜찮아. 근데 좀 실망할 수 있다.
These all taste quite a bit different than what you're used to probably, because they're a lot sweeter and there's a lot of like various flavors. Like these ones you can see they have shrimp. These are tteokbokki, which is like the Korean rice snack that's really spicy. And yeah, there's like pepperoni pizza and stuff like that. But the original is always 새우깡. Oops. This snack has stood the test of time. It's been around for a long time, and it always will be, and it's pretty awesome. So I'm gonna have one of these.
Drinking outside is legal in Korea in most places, and most of the country is so dense with people, you can just sit down and relax and watch life move by. We hope the video helped break the barriers of eating and drinking alone in Korea. It can be very intimidating at first since things might be a lot different here than where you're from, but we really recommend giving it a try, as you'll be able to get a sense of how Koreans live their day-to-day lives, and also get a feeling of the food culture, which is one of the most important parts of Korean society that the people here are rightfully proud of. If you have any questions, feel free to ask them in the comments, and if you want to support us, hit the like button, subscribe, and consider signing up for our Patreon if you have the financial flexibility to do so. Have a wonderful day, and we'll see you soon.